The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the New Media Factory. Some programs on this network might include strong images and language and may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Would you come if I asked you to ride with me on this one-way road that leads? Well, I don't know, but I will take you anywhere you see. I know what you need, and what you've done is exactly what I
Good evening. Time for another Counterflow.
We're
Counterflow time, yes.
It's Counterflow time. We're broadcasting here live from Beyond the Box.
Here in One Rockwell.
It's New Media Factory. You can check us out on nmfnetwork.tv if you want to watch us live.
And we also have a podcast, don't forget.
Right now, as we speak. Okay, so what's the headline in today's paper, Patrick?
You tell me. You texted me about it.
All right, we are. This is anything to do with wheels. If it's on the road, we'll put it on the air, as we like to say. And if you have any questions or you want to interact with us, you can always go to our official Facebook page. It is facebook.com/Mr.Counterflow, and that's where our little community is there, and it's a great bunch of guys and girls there. You should check it out.
And speaking of clips that James posted, it's been getting a lot of shares. We're talking about Martin Miranda's snake. That is
yeah.
Shelby
That's so
500.
many.
That's like, I mean, how many shares?
I think 200 in a span of a couple of hours.
It's kind of wild.
Amazing.
And the funny part is that's like a baby, right? A lightweight one from the cars you tune.
Yeah.
But no, I think
Lightweight?
yeah, because then you got 1,000 horsepower cars
Yes.
there, and you've got the Ford GT of Gono and so many other cars, but for some reason
horsepower, though,
people have really had this affinity.
But this is the first one that we really, I make see how long I can make a burnout and everything, and then with the middle of the traffic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Backing up, etc.
So if you we cut that part out. If you want to see more of those videos, you can always go to our Facebook page, because Pacho will be making more of them, right?
In fact, he has another
Submitted now.
video.
Actually, for next week we're gonna bring the video of the same cars doing the same burnout, but with a GoPro onboard camera.
I thought in reverse this time, just to make things different. Watch this.
This is in the same spot, Pacho.
yeah, exactly the same spot.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, so basically we got a lot to cover in this episode. We've got to cover, of course, that epic, monumental Formula One race. We've also got to cover a series of events that's happening over the weekend, this long weekend. Plus, of course, we've got a very special guest from Chevrolet to be talking about their new lineup. They've got some exciting new products coming. And then, let's kick it off with Formula One, because I really think after that nail biter in Brazil, which is why we've invited William Herrera as well. We didn't introduce you.
From Red Rock.
From Red Rock Travel, the rock star of motorsports travel.
Somehow he's the one responsible for us to be here again.
Yeah.
Just in case you didn't know, William set up a petition that said if we reach 15,000 likes, the guys will go back on air. When we hit 15, not 1,000, we said, yeah, that's close.
Close enough.
Right in the end.
Just enough motivation.
Just enough. I mean, actually, I think it hit 200 likes, and we were like, all right, let's do it, boys.
200? Come on, James.
Yeah, after
that's some good numbers. 200?
No. It was only 200 after a year and a half. 3 years after, we were able to go 250.
Yeah, there were people unliking it.
Why is
Changed
that?
my mind. That's like, that's that ever happened to you, where you go so and so liked your photo, and you go, oh cool, and you go there and
Unlike.
where is it? Change his mind. How do you go back on the like? That's low. That's the lowest of the low. Okay, so let's kick it off. Formula One. Before we start, was this the best season so far? Alan.
Actually, I asked Willem because I missed some of the races this year, but he told me that if you're going to talk about the best race of the year, we go back to 2007. Am I right?
You mean this
Yeah,
is the
the
Kimi,
Kimi.
in Brazil?
But this is a nail biter as well. I was watching until the last lap, and I was at the edge of my seat.
So was I,
and
because all
I couldn't believe it. There was just so much drama.
because the odds were right. I mean,
Yes.
it looked ridiculous for Alonso to win the race. That was already going to be a stretch, right? But he's performed well already in the past. So it was a stretch, but it's possible. What was not possible was the likelihood of Vettel falling in somewhere around 5th or 6th place. So when he went into that first corner accident, I mean, the heavens just opened up for the Tifosi, and we were just screaming and shouting. By the way, we brought in the championship-winning car, as you can see behind us. That took quite a lot from Brazil. They just finished the race. They had to fix the nose because he crashed in first corner. But
And
you
they
know,
have to clean it up.
I texted my buddy Adrian. And I said, "Listen, you know what? We have 200 likes, so we'll make it worth your while. We can build on your fan page with our we can synergize Counterflow and Red Bull page.
There you go.
Yeah, you see, it's all about that. And so he sent us the official winning car there. the Red Bull. This is the
Adrian.
3 years in a row champion. As sad as it is, that's a championship winning car. But I think in the end,
Why sad?
because it's not Alonso. But I think in the end, as much as it pains me, believe me, I've been struggling with this. I think he sort of deserves it.
There's a little point there that he.
Okay, let me just get my beefs out for the moment. My only beef is not that it would have made a difference in the standings.
No, he did not let him pass.
He let him pass.
No, he didn't.
Michael Schumacher has
He didn't.
he has a God-given talent for making his Formula One car as wide as a bus.
Yes.
Yeah.
When somebody's
No,
trying to
this
pass.
year.
This year, he's caused major accidents
Accidents,
and problems with other
He hit him
drivers.
from behind, but
No, everything. He is to the point where they're saying he's defending in the most undefendable positions. Right? Am I right?
right, yeah.
He has been criticized for his. Come on, dude! You're fighting for 19th, and he won't give you an inch. And all of a sudden, it was like kulang lang gift wrap with a car.
Yeah, you're right. It's true.
Yeah.
Happy championship, Now, the thing is, people were saying, come on, what's he got to lose versus what Michael Vettel's got to gain and blah, blah, blah. I understand that. But then if we talk about that, Button should have done the same thing and said, well, what's a race win versus a championship? If Button reversed the positions, that is the decider. But Button is a racer. And as much as it pained me to see that Alonso just needed to get Button's spot to win, I can't help but respect Button for what he did because he's a racer.
Yeah.
You never give up your position. Now, had these two been teammates, fully understandable. Because you, as unsportsmanlike as some people feel, you have to take in the greater good of a team. And nobody is bigger than an entire team. This is why they allow Massa to exchange places. Look, I mean, Massa's really got nothing to gain.
Yes.
I don't think he could have won that race, or do you?
No.
Second.
But he did a good job.
Yeah.
don't you
Yeah.
think?
Massa
Massa
proved
did.
why he should be signed next year. He's actually proven me wrong towards the last part of the season. What else did you? What other highlights were for you? Hulkenberg.
Hulkenberg, of course.
And Lewis.
Yeah, and Lewis. I have to admit that the Hulkenberg penalty was not deserved because it was a racing incident, in my view.
Oh, okay.
He slid into Lewis, and what?
I'll just text Charlie.
Try burning.
Yeah. No, Charlie's he's FIA director there. Okay, they should reverse that next week. Keep your eyes peeled in F1 News. If they do it, you heard it in Counterflow. All right, so big season. We had also what were the other?
The highlight is the first run.
First corner.
The first
and
corner.
Bruno Senna, my
Oh,
God.
yeah.
What
Yeah.
was he thinking?
I know.
And even he said in an interview when he came in and he started seeing the car and he saw he hit Vettel, he went, oh, this is going to be
Yeah.
big.
Usually when
Don't
the car
take out
gets
the
hit like that,
championship
when the car
leader.
gets hit like that, it's game over. And I was just
Usually.
surprised that he was able to run his car even with the damage. I was thinking the car is damaged. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure during the
Yeah.
last laps,
Yeah.
there's gonna be trouble. There's gonna be more drama, but he was able to bring it home.
So Bruno
It's
said, I got
amazing
like,
news.
oh, finally I got people to talk about me.
Not in a good way.
But at least he got some.
Yeah.
He got,
Oh
but
my gosh.
he's out, right?
Yeah,
he's
he's
out.
out.
He's out next season, and that was
Oh,
a very
yeah?
lackluster.
Even
Yeah.
Kobayashi, I heard from Williams.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Kobayashi, there's still a mild possibility he could. His seat in Williams is not taken, right? Senna?
Yes.
It's not.
Ah, okay,
I
so
mean,
there might be
remember
there's a chance.
the
There's
year
a chance.
before they picked up Kobayashi, he was out of a seat after Toyota. He excelled in Toyota. He provided all the entertainment of that season, really. And then he was out of a seat, and he went back to making sushi.
Yeah.
His father owns a restaurant in Japan, a sushi restaurant, and he was back as a sushi chef.
Yeah.
I mean, like rolling sushi, and it wasn't a very high class.
So it took him a
restaurant.
while before he went back to F1. Didn't lose any
No,
steam.
he didn't.
That was the off season.
Off season.
Oh, off-season.
He got picked up in the
Okay,
off
right.
season. So what I'm saying is, it's still possible that a team like Williams might be able to pick him up, and at least
That's good.
I hope they do, because this guy is
Yeah.
he's great entertainment. I mean, he was beaten by Perez in the end, but Perez has been an exceptional driver. Well, he's had his ups and downs. Actually, ever since he had the announcement from McLaren, he's
Kind of.
yeah. So what's that about?
Oh, he's set for next year, so why
Yeah,
move
but
myself?
everyone wants to leave on a high, and I
Yeah.
think Jensen Button left on a high. That was
Yeah.
fantastic.
What about Kimi? Are they going to leave him alone?
Did you see that?
Did
he
you
got
see
lost
him?
there, though.
Did you see when he got lost?
Yeah.
And he said he still knew what he was doing. He entered an escape route,
Yes.
but there was a gate.
Yeah.
Did you see this?
No.
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
he had a wobble, and rather than try and make the corner, and he was grass and everything, rather than completely lose it, he made the last minute decision to take an escape road. So he went over the grass and then into an escape road, and he figured, okay, I'll just rejoin the track. But there was a gate.
Yeah, it was
no,
close.
He had
Can
no
you
sticker.
imagine?
Yeah.
He had no sticker in the guard. The guard said, sir, well, no ID, no
Sarado
anything.
dito.
Yeah, wala kang sticker, sir. So he wasn't. So he actually had to and back out.
Yeah.
No, he back out. He just spun. He just turned.
Yeah,
around.
he just
turned
And it was so close.
Yeah.
It was like this close to the barrier, and he flicked it around, and then.
There was no space, and
Yeah.
There was no
there's
space.
nowhere to
No
go.
space.
So-
I mean, but you imagine the feeling you're in a race, and then you're.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's locked.
I really thought that he made a big mistake, but just found out from him as well, because we were talking about it, that he really knew what he was doing. It's just that he
Well,
couldn't flip the car
yeah.
because it was just too tight. So he had to go to that area where there's big space
bigger
so that he
room.
could be able to turn.
Okay.
Because in the
okay.
escape route,
Yeah.
like you have arm go on both sides.
Yeah,
yeah,
So
yeah.
he couldn't flick it around that way.
Yeah.
So,
Of course he knows what he's doing. Leave him alone.
And that's this guy's class. They have already shirts made up of that. Leave me alone. I know what I'm doing.
That's a cool shirt.
All
But
right,
did you see
so
the interview? I was just impressed with Fernando Alonso.
Ah.
You knew that he gave his best. That he said that as long as you're 100% focused and this is what you get, it's fine.
you know why? That's what separates for me Alonso and I. Pacho always gives me grief about this, but this is why I support the guy so much. Is because he's the kind of guy that just keeps the same attitude no matter what. And this is what separates a good driver and a great driver. The good drivers, well, anyone can sail a ship in calm waters, as they like to say. If you got the best car and you're whatever, not taking anything away from Vettel. He's had some bad races that he's recovered from. But if you want to look at the minimizing, who's made the least mistakes over the season, it's Alonso. And that is usually what determines a championship. It's not who drove the quickest, it's who made the least mistakes over one entire season.
Right.
And I think this season, did Alonso, was Monaco, was that this year, or am I confusing it with last year when he crashed in Monaco qualifying? That was last year.
Last year, I think.
So this year, he really has no mistakes, right?
It's just at the car, right?
Yeah, it's
Maybe a wobble
would
here,
you say that it's his
a wide
car?
there.
It's not
His
as competitive
car
as the
is-
Red
no.
Bull cars, right?
In fact, he came out and said, we lost the championship before Brazil, which I thought made me feel a bit better.
Yeah.
You know, that the fact that it would just been a fairy tale had he won in Brazil, I think.
Yeah.
And that's why I think he got so much support from people, is because everyone loves a fairy tale.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
And even
Vote
on
for the
Facebook,
underdog.
I just saw so many people rooting for Alonso. I never thought that
Even
there were
though-
so many Alonso fans. I was
Even,
like,
even
whoa.
you know, he gained a lot more this year.
Yeah, you're right.
I think we even did a pulse check on our Facebook page, and we put surveys of, who do you support? And while nobody wants to take anything away from Vettel, the support is really Alonso.
Yeah.
He's a sentimental favorite here. And I can see Patrick getting very bored with the conversation. What is it about I always thought that there's a similar thing with Latin Americans where they would support Spanish driver. But when I was in Brazil, same thing. They said, we're going for Vettel before we go for Alonso. I said, it doesn't
come?
make sense. Yeah.
How come?
I don't know. They just said they don't. There's no affinity with
Maybe it's
Spain.
because of his personality. You know Alonso.
Well, but the thing is, Brazil they don't speak Spanish, it's Portuguese.
True, that's true.
Alright.
But then you're Colombian and you
Then-
speak Spanish,
I do.
and you don't go for Alonso.
No, I just consider the Hamilton is a really good driver, though.
Oh,
Hamilton is a very
He's
good
really
driver.
fast.
But okay, that's a good topic. Do you think he's gonna do a shumi and with Mercedes and bring that team up to a championship winning
Yeah, we
team.
talked
He's
about
got
this
he's got the people behind him. Ross Brawn, Mercedes money, Mercedes engine.
I don't see it happening next year.
Yeah.
Probably in
Yeah, they have to start to work
2014
early.
when the engine regulations change.
To V6.
Yeah.
That's all
Maybe
even keel, right?
Yeah, maybe the AMG is brilliant out of the box.
Is that going to be a turbo V6?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, turbo V6. They were trying to pitch 4-cylinder engines. They were. And remember when Jean Todt came to Manila, I asked him that same question.
Yeah.
I said, you go from a V8 to a 4-cylinder. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. Did you say that to create such outrage that people would be happy with a V6? And he just looked at me and said, you just think I'm going to tell you that? I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to paint me into a corner. He said that. Yeah. And then I even said, because he came here for he didn't want Formula One questions. He wanted road safety
Right,
questions.
yeah.
And he's really, he is such an arrogant man that he got up there and he was on the, when he did his welcome address, he said, good afternoon, welcome to the, he was doing his little speech and then somebody was talking back, excuse me, is there an press conference I don't know about? Like that. And they were, us? Yes, you. This is the guest face or not? And then he starts explaining. So anyway, then one of the journalists came up and asked a question that had apparently been asked before in the
Okay.
same thing, but she was late.
Oh.
So she's a veteran journalist, and she puts her hand up, yes, and she comes up and she said, I want to know about this, and this. It is obvious you are late to this press conference because this question has already been answered. Now move on. Like this. Then I got up and I had to ask a road
That's
safety question. So I said to
unbelievable.
him, okay, you know what, Mr. Todt, you've given us all these figures about the best countries and the worst countries for road safety. For example, Australia is particularly high. Germany is particularly low, one of the lowest in the world. I can't help but notice driving in both countries that in Australia they have the strictest speed limits, and in Germany they tend to have very lax rules, and in fact many unrestricted roads there. Would you be able to say that speed is not necessarily a factor in the road safety, but more in driving style and driver education? I know what you're trying to do, and it's not going to work. You want to come out tomorrow and say, Jean Todt say it's okay to speed. This is not going to happen. Move on.
Oh my God!
It's classic.
Twice.
No, man, the guy was like,
I know you.
I'm watching you.
James, I'm the James.
The James.
The
So
James.
there, we're going to probably end up spending all of this on Formula One. So we have other topics.
Yeah, but what other rules are gonna be changed for next year for the F1?
I believe the nose cones will be a bit higher now. So
Okay.
the disappearance of the step nose, the very famous step
Yeah.
nose, that'll be removed for next year.
Anything else that's significant? They usually have minor tweaks.
Yeah.
No more fueling also.
No.
No, nothing
So-
major that we know about, like fueling or tires.
So it's
or-
basically
Oh, the tires
just
will
gonna
be
be like this
Pirelli
year. with
Pirelli
tweaks.
came out with a statement that says that the tires for next year will stand up more, so you can have longer runs.
Oh, that's not nice.
Well,
We were having such a great time with the falling off a cliff thing.
yeah.
Anyway, all right. Other news. I would love to talk about Formula One all show, but I know we're going to run out. There's a couple of things I want to just get out of the way. I went to a press conference yesterday, which was quite interesting. It's about CTPL. Apparently, well, we've known this for a while, but when you go and register your car, you have to have compulsory third-party liability insurance, right? This is standard before you're allowed to register your car. Now, here's the normal drill. If you register your car yourself, you usually go to an LTO, and these guys say, oh, we'll take care of everything. And then before you know it, bang, you've got everything done for you and just pay them out. The problem here is if you look at your CTPL, you're being charged 1,000 something for it, 1,100, something like that. A bigger problem than that is a lot of these certificates are fake.
Oh.
Because who checks, right?
Yeah.
I just register my car, but you need this, whatever.
But that's usually done in the LTO.
It is.
Yes.
And precisely because it is, they just get any Tom, Dick, and Harry and they just give you. So how many complaints we've had about people who go and claim and there's no the policy
paperwork.
doesn't exist. But they've just given you enough so that you can get your registration. Now, these are a lot of hapless motorists are falling into this trap.
Yeah.
So what they've done right now is Phoenix Insurance, Federal Phoenix Insurance, have tied up with Cebuana Lulier. And I think this is quite a great idea. They are offering the insurance for what it's supposed to be priced at, which is $620 or something like
Okay.
that. This is the legal price for it. Not that it's 1,000 or 11 or 1,200. Now the best part is you can go to any one of I think 1,800, 1,700 Cebuana Lulier branches, buy it, and then go and register your car the next day or the same day or whatever. But just turn up with your CTPL from there, and then they're guaranteed that nobody's going to, they'll pay out because they have too big a name to do this. So it's something I thought we should share with the viewers, that there is a good way you can save money on your CTPL, but more importantly, you can be guaranteed because you know that you've gone to a certain, and they have a direct tie-up with LTO with webcam, identification, etc., that they can settle claims within 24 hours.
How much is the usual
24 hours?
coverage, James?
620 something.
That's
And
it.
there's a breakdown of all that, of what the fees are. But the problem is when you don't know and you just go up to the LTO,
Yeah.
whatever, you don't want the hassle. You know, people don't know. So this is what you can do to save some money. Go to a Cebuano Lulier branch, ask for the CTPL. This will all start kicking off by next month. And away you go. Just bring in your car, go to the LTO with this already. And then you can guarantee to save some money. So I thought I'd share that with you.
Cool.
Another thing before we talk about the Honda event, which we both went to, very, a little sort of shift gear here. It's a little bit of a serious incident, but thought we'd talk about it. A bit of a tragedy happened last Sunday, aside from Alonso's not winning the championship. Around 4 in the morning on a Sunday, right near where we are, in the Bel Air Gate. Did you read about this?
Yeah.
Okay, there was this foreigner who, did you hear about this, Pancho?
No,
I
Foreigner.
heard it from Miguel.
Yeah.
Yeah, a foreign guy was, he's supposedly married to a diplomat, American guy, an inactive Marine, was walking across, presumably from one of the bars, you know, like Kauzat or one of these things at Calayan, trying to enter the Bel Air Gate where he lived. He was a resident, and he entered the guardhouse, and at the guardhouse there was this SUV, parked, luxury SUV too, and 4 guys in the car were arguing with the guards. And the guards wouldn't let them in because they didn't have a sticker and nobody lived in the property. Or there was just this argument. They were asking for identification. Anyway, as this former Marine or inactive Marine walked past, he had obviously been drinking. And so he kind of got involved in the argument and said, hey, yeah, come on, just cooperate with the guards, whatever. He got involved in the argument. They started raising their voices, so apparently he'd left. He just said, all right, I don't need this. And he walked, but he hit the hood of the car. He just tapped it. Bang! They got out and they killed him. They beat him to death and they stabbed him, and he died right there. 2 questions. Well, 2 things to address. Number 1, I'm not sure why. I don't know the whole story, but I'm not sure why the guards didn't do more to protect the resident. Aren't they armed? They're armed for a reason. I mean, if the guy pulls out a knife, there's 4 guys beating up your resident. I think that's worthy of a warning shot. I mean, if there's one time that you need to have a warning shot, that can qualify.
They're residents as well because they're entering the village.
They were trying, but they weren't. That's
they
the
weren't?
thing. No,
Okay.
I think there was one guy who was possibly a resident, but the thing is they didn't have a sticker, so they were trying to clarify, wait, who's the resident, show us your ID, whatever.
Yeah.
And this is what happened. Had they had a sticker, they would have just been in, but they didn't. And this is, and anyway, the guy tapped the car, but what makes it even more appalling is that they mauled him. He managed to get away and run, and then they caught up with him, and then they mauled him, and that's where they killed him. So they're now being charged with murder. I bring this up because I don't know what it is about road rage. There's a phenomenon about road rage that I would like to know. Why people, these are normal, God-fearing, tax-paying, decent people. I'm not saying these 4 guys, I don't know them. But generally speaking, the most sane and normal person, once he gets behind the wheel of a car, all of a sudden becomes a monster, thinking that just because they're surrounded in some expensive casing and tinted windows, does that make them feel anonymous enough to behave in a certain way? Just as a blogger or a guy on the internet who goes behind a pseudonym can be so tough behind a keyboard that they don't care who they offend and how, because anyway nobody knows who I am. Is that the psychology behind it? Because why? I'll give you a good example. I was in church last Sunday or the Sunday before, and you know, you turn around and we gave peace to the guy next to me and a guy row ahead, row behind, etc. And I remember even going to communion, and that same guy, you know, let me in, please, after you. And then I got in. When we get to the car park, that same guy wouldn't let me out of my car park. He was blocking me like this. And you know, it was, and then eventually when I tried to get out, his backup came in, and then they tried to run me off the road. The same guy I had just exchanged, peace be with you, and please, after you. Once in the confines of his car, what is it? Anyway, I bring it up, not to put a damper on things, but it's a very, very serious issue I think everyone should be aware of. When you're in your cars, especially now in the holiday seasons, where the traffic is at its all-time worst, keep a cool head, guys. Just keep calm. Remember, it's never, ever worth it. Ever.
Yeah.
Somebody dies, does it matter whose lane it was? Does it matter who got who first? Does it matter who beeped you, who tapped your hood? So just cool head. All right. Happier thoughts, Honda event. What do you think, Alan?
Fantastic. We were able to drive several cars from Honda. And they're
Actually,
back.
it really all comes down to
They-
just the one car.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all great. They're all great. I mean,
Yeah.
but we've driven the Civics before and the Pilot and all that.
But it's just amazing. We drove the northern region of the Philippines from
How is
Santa
it?
Ana, Cagayan. Beautiful roads there. It is
Really?
just insane.
Breathtaking, Baja.
breathtaking view.
Yeah.
And we were able to.
The only
drive-
bad roads are here in Manila.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Actually,
That's what we're
this
all
is the
there.
Ironman route that the Ironman challenge goes around the tip of Luzon. This is that route.
Wow.
We
So-
got the good cars. We drove the good cars. Like the first day, me and James drove the Honda Pilot. Very
Yeah.
comfortable drive.
Very
Oh,
comfortable.
yeah?
But
Yeah.
the second day, we were blessed. We were given the Honda CRZ. That's a hybrid.
Hybrid car.
Sports hatchback.
With a
And-
Mugen parts on it, Mugen
Yeah.
exhaust and big rims and stuff. It's a hybrid, but it's got an angry sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the exhaust, because they changed the exhaust already.
And it's only a 1.5 liter, right?
1.5.
And it's only
Hybrid?
got how many horsepower did they say?
I'm not so
It's
sure.
somewhere
about
around the
horsepower.
130. So it's low, but it's another power to weight thing.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's fun. It's a fun
It's
car.
a
to
short
drive.
wheelbase, it's sports hatch, so it is tight. You can really attack the corners, and it just turns so well.
It's so sharp. The
So
steering.
sharp. It's fantastic.
No, but that was a great event. It was basically designed to renew. Honda's been fairly quiet over the last couple of years. They've already had some big blows with the tsunami and the flooding in Thailand, etc. Plus, they had some problems with their models and stuff. So they designed this event just to reintroduce the media to what they've got again, and remind everyone that they still have great products. And just because they've been quiet doesn't mean that they've been planning. And now they have a couple of exciting models coming in, the Insight and the CRZ. They're just waiting for the bill to be passed. That will declare all hybrid cars, zero tax, etc.
Oh,
That should bring it down to a reasonable price. We're hoping somewhere around 1.1-ish for the
They're saying
CRZ.
it's around 1.2 to 1.5. They really
Yeah,
have-
depending on the law, of course.
Yeah.
All right, we are. I'm sure I'm going to get that sign from Miguel very soon. So we still have another guest to get through. Pachi, you wanted to share something before we call in our guest?
Yeah, well, now I just want to remind the people about the car show upcoming. There are gonna be a lot of modifications there, a lot of aftermarket, and so people that are really into cars, they love cars, they want to see the parts and everything. Just remember that this weekend, starting on Thursday until Sunday, there's gonna be a car show in SMX. There you go. There's the Manila Auto Salon. Yeah, it's gonna be this weekend though. Something nice about this time is we're gonna finish the awarding on Saturday. So by Sunday, the winners will be able to finally display their
bragging
trophies,
rights, yeah,
bragging
right.
rights and everything. Though.
Okay.
Okay, you gotta love how we do this.
Ta-da!
William just got better looking. Don't try this at home, folks. This is the magic of live television. We would like to welcome Lyn Buena from Chevrolet. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Hello,
Absolute
guys.
pleasure.
Thank
You know
having
the
me here.
guys?
Yes.
You met Pacha before?
I have. I have. I've had the pleasure.
You're still paying off that car, huh? Race car. No, we invited Lyn on the show. Actually, this is going to be a first of a series of inviting some of the manufacturers on the show to talk about the lineup. And I think Chevrolet's have been quite aggressive recently with a new model range that's added a lot of energy into your lineup. Can you run us through what you've done this year so far?
Yes. Well, this year had been really busy. First quarter of the year, we launched the Chevrolet Orlando, which is an MPV.
I have a picture here. I'm going to look for it while you keep talking.
Wonderful. And then in July, we launched the Chevrolet Colorado, which is a pickup.
Yeah.
And then like a month later, we launched the Chevrolet Sonic, which is a subcompact sedan. And then very recently, we launched the Chevrolet Trailblazer, which is a 7-seater diesel SUV.
And did you say that's your flagship? Would that be a fair thing to say?
I'd say, yeah, by the way things are looking now, I mean, demand-wise and how the public has, in such short a time, received the car, yes, I'd say that would be a fair statement.
And we're going to run through some of your models here. Feel free to talk us through this. This is the new Spin. We'll get back to the Trailblazer. The Spin is an Avanza killer, right? I mean, I know you can't say the word, so I'll say it.
Good job, Dave.
We'd like to thank our sponsor, Chevrolet. For this. No, I'm just kidding. But this is the Avanza segment, right?
Yes, it's going to come in at that exact Avanza segment.
All right. Well, what I find particularly nice about this vehicle is it feels very European. This is designed in Brazil. I
Yes.
believe. This is on the Onyx platform, which had its global reveal just last October in Brazil, and it's on the same platform, but it feels a lot heftier, sturdier, tighter steering. It feels like a bigger car, yet it's not. It's still a 7-seater,
Yes.
but on a sedan platform. Actually, it's a compact platform, isn't it?
It is. It's a compact platform, and
Take a look at this. Just check out the interior of the Spin.
nice.
All right, so that's what you can fit into the back of that car. That's just my balikbayan. That's just my pasalubongs from Brazil when I came from there. And this is the many configurations you can have with the back of this Spin. So
Fantastic.
it is very, very. It's going to be. Do you know what engine variants you might be bringing in? Are you allowed to say anything this early?
no, I can't. But
Is your seat
there's-
burning?
I
Is it
can
getting
sense
warm?
our.
But when is the launch
Well,
date? Spin?
the
Is it
Spin, we're thinking around second semester of 2013.
13, okay.
Okay, that should be very exciting for that segment because so far there's nobody else competing in there, right?
Yes, but I am allowed to say one thing, which is going to be very important for this segment. It is going to come in a diesel engine.
Wow!
All right.
That is great.
That means you are going to be basically in a class of your own, right?
Pretty
Yep.
much.
Because
That's awesome.
Yeah.
it is. Can you imagine a diesel engine in that segment? Would Chevrolet allow taxis to use this car? Do you have any feelings about that or policies?
I don't really see why not.
Sales is
well,
there.
yeah. Well, we haven't really made any. There are no directions yet as to the taxi franchises. But off the top of my head, sounds like a great opportunity for the brand. So.
There's the Orlando we were talking about earlier. Lynn was mentioning earlier. This is somewhere in the Kia Karen segment, somewhere around the
Indeed,
Nissan
yes.
Livina, but it feels a bit bigger than the Livina.
Yes, actually, I believe it is.
And that's also another 7-seater.
7-seater.
So the Spin will just sit underneath that car.
Yes.
And that would be. Then of course you've got your Colorado.
Yes, the Colorado is available in a 2.5 and 2.8 engine variants. Duramax diesel engine with CRDI.
CRDI. Now this what's interesting about the Colorado is this is one of only 2 all-new pickups in the market. I mean, completely ground up, new platforms, etc.
Absolutely.
And this is going to be the new generation, which is where the Trailblazer gets its foundation from, right?
Indeed, yes, that's right.
And I've had a chance to drive both, of course, the Colorado and the Trailblazer, and I do have to say it is something you really. The first thing I noticed, and a couple of friends of mine have just bought one recently. The first thing you notice is the NVH is just majorly improved over the previous models of pickups or previous generation. Also, aside from the fact that you've got that improved NVH, the steering is one of the biggest things that I feel that people will notice. As soon as they get in, all of a sudden it just seems connected to the wheels. It's like you don't need a travel agent to get around the corner anymore.
So it's really sharp change.
It's for a pickup. I
For a
mean,
pickup, yeah.
It feels more like a sedan than a pickup.
It's connected. I mean, like sometimes I would think there was a party line in between the communications between my.
True, that's my
Yeah.
complaint with my Hilux.
It's
It
true.
doesn't have
Yeah.
that much feedback.
There's no feedback at all. I mean, it's just completely numb. It's like gising na. Okay, let's go.
But it's
Let's
the
start.
style it's the style of driving as well. Because
No,
if you use it in the city, it would be better
True.
if it's
But the
Soft
Colorado, the Trailblazer, and even the Ranger, these are new generation pickups. So they've really worked wonders in trying to get that, just keep it connected and make it
Correct.
feel more sedan-like, but without losing the ruggedness. So you've also got there's a picture of the Trailblazer. This is a mega hit, right? You've got
Yes.
like what's the waiting list for this now?
Average waiting list, we mean in total? Well, I know
mean,
for per dealer.
months-wise and stuff, or if an average person like Alan was gonna buy one tomorrow,
Yeah.
how long would he have to wait, you think, to get delivery?
I know that a dealer, the waiting list per dealer is around 30 to 40.
30 to 40.
Per dealer. We have 19 dealers.
Wow. And where are off the top of your head, I don't expect you to remember all 19, but where would they be?
Dealers, we have Chevrolet dealer in Quezon Avenue. We have in Chevrolet Green Hills. That's in EDSA. We have one in North EDSA as well. There's one in Makati, Pasig. There's one in Shaw Boulevard. And then in the provinces, we also have in Cebu. Those are new dealers, huge facility in Cebu. We just recently opened Cagayan de Oro. We have in Bacolod, Iloilo. Of course, existing dealers would be Davao. There's a new one also in Tacloban. And gosh, it's 19. Because when we started off the brand in 2009, there were 12 dealers. So 3 years later, we're now at 19 dealers, which we'd like to think is a good sign because
Absolutely.
yeah, we've been
So this-
gaining the trust of more people.
Okay, here's a little bragging corner, bragging rights. You just recently received yet another JD Power. This is on top of the back-to-back customer service index, JD Power #1
Yes, in
for customer service.
Yes, that was in 2011, and once again for this exact same award in the Philippines, we got the same best in after-sales service for 2012. So that's a back-to-back win. I'm very, very proud of that because it's up against everyone. So
And you also got a new one for the Sonic.
yes, the Sonic received the JD Power Award for best in quality. That's in the United States. So
Wow.
yeah, and that's a pretty discerning market as well, I'd say. So that's huge, and it's a real boost for the Sonic.
If you're not familiar with the Sonic, or you're sort of you want to sort of see a part of its personality, they can always Google this YouTube video that you've got.
Yes.
What were the keywords for the one where they drop it out of the sky?
That's
And
the
that's not camera work, right?
No, that's
that's
not.
CGI.
That's not
They
CGI.
literally threw
Threw
a
a
Sonic
Sonic.
out of
A bungee,
a bungee.
a plane.
They had a bungee jump.
Yes, and there was
They threw it
a
out of a plane.
yeah, threw out of a plane, and,
And
there
the
was a
toughest one is
kickflip.
coming. They're gonna go down EDSA. They're gonna drive around EDSA at 200 kilometers an hour.
They're gonna do burnouts.
Yeah. Outside Auto Plus. Somehow it survived the plane, it survived the bungee jump, but EDSA was just too tough. That's a song, but
The
it
real
gives,
test.
it gives you a good glimpse of the personality of the car and what they're
Yes.
trying to do. It basically the sky was the limit. Now it's
Yes.
they've cracked
Many
that.
firsts of the Sonic. It's available, by the way, in 14. It's 1.4 liter Ecotech engine. It's a subcompact sedan. It's available in hatch and sedan. So there's
Only
a
in
really cute-
1.4, right? There's only one
1.4.
engine variant, 2 transmissions, auto and manual.
Yes.
You've got sedan and hatch. What are the prices?
The prices of the Sonic
I
is.
bet you there's an 888 there somewhere.
How'd you know that?
I don't know, just real
Well,
gut
yes,
feel.
I
Been in the
know.
industry long enough, you know.
778 888.
Wow.
Everything's got an 888 in the
and
Chevrolet line.
828.
888. Okay. For newcomers to this program, maybe the casual viewer, what would the Sonic go up against? I mean, what category would you put it in?
Well, it's a subcompact segment, so that's against
Vios?
the Vios, the City,
Mhm.
the Accent,
That's it, yeah.
and
Rio.
the Rio. Correct.
Okay.
correct, Yes.
All right, and you also have a Captiva, which we
Yes. We brought in the new Captiva. Well, it's a facelifted version of the Captiva.
okay.
We still with the same engine?
Yes, 2 liter and 2.4. Well, there are improvements in the engine, but I believe it's the
It's
same.
the same engine,
Yes.
the 2-liter diesel.
Yes, 2 liter diesel,
Just
2.4.
consider that just an awesome engine.
That one.
Ah, yeah, the 2-liter diesel. Wow.
Tuner friendly too.
Yes.
Burnout, burnout.
Everything is tuner friendly. Even the little Hot Wheels car that his kids play with, he tweaks them. You know, I think if we drop the stance a little bit and put wider tires.
Practically.
No, it's
Everything.
because actually I was able to drive the Captiva diesel for one of the Sampaguita rallies.
Okay.
Ah, yes, that's right. I
Yeah.
remember that.
Then that's a whole day event. I mean, as you guys know, start in the morning, then we go all the way to Subic, and then you travel around Subic, and there is one leg in the morning, one leg in the afternoon, come back to Manila. Then we put full tank here in Manila.
Okay.
Then when I came back to Manila, I still have 1/3 of a tank.
Wow.
After all that one, other
Did you
people-
drive it out,
This is
Pacho?
Trailblazer. Can you imagine that?
Yes, of course.
And all right,
Alright.
so we promised we'd go back to the Trailblazer because that's where we all start. So that's basically your flagship one. We can run a silent video while we're talking in the background. I think I've got some material on the Trailblazer. This is the hottest selling new product of Chevrolet since you've started, I guess, 3 years ago.
Yes, unprecedented. The reception to this new product has been wonderful. It's a marketer's dream, actually. So, yeah, well, hopefully we get to sustain the momentum.
Okay, so the Trailblazer comes in how many flavors?
2 flavors, 2.5 and 2.8 liter engines, manual for the 2.5 and automatic for the 2.8.
Okay, so there's no manual version for the 2.8.
None.
Okay,
None.
so what do they start at price wise?
Price wise, it's at 1.318 for the
1.318.
1.3 million 18 for the 2.5, yeah, 888 for the 2.5 engine configuration, and 1.7.
So it tops out at 1.7. So you're right there in the same bracket as everyone else.
Yes,
Everyone else is playing at that same 1.3 to 1.7 mark.
Exactly.
Uh,
This
When
one
you
is-
look at the Trailblazer, you'd think that it'll cost over 2 million because it's that beautiful.
that's the feedback
is.
we've
The
been getting.
exterior, I haven't ridden, so I can't say about the interior, but the exterior, it's a good looking.
The ride, I have a good
Vehicle.
friend who just bought one, picked one up, and he's just going gushing over the ride. What are because ride is subjective. So what would you say are your unique selling points for that car?
Well, apart from the very powerful Duramax diesel engine, 3-ton hauling capacity, well, of course, it's a family car after all. It does seat 7, and the 2.8 liter engine configuration is in leather. And as you said, the NVH levels are very low. And
It's a 6-speed.
it's 6-speed automatic.
Wow.
Yeah, it comes with a lot of the bells and whistles that personally I'd like in my car, but it's not as intimidating. So it's just right, and it's very capable. 4x4 water weighting capacity, by the way,
Oh,
just
yeah.
in case you get into trouble with
Okay.
some floods. It's 800 millimeters, so
800.
same as the
Wow.
Colorado. So it's got the look, and it's got the capacity. So
So you could probably what can we say is best in class? The 800 sounds like it's best in class.
yes, that is
'Cause
best in
that's-
class. Last time we checked.
Yes, because in the pickup there's only one other pickup, but that's in the pickup market. But in the 7-seater SUV, I don't believe anyone's up to 800 yet. Not in that
I believe
category.
so. Yes.
6-speed auto is also. I don't know of anyone top of my head who has a 6-speed auto.
Six-speed
Yeah.
auto,
Montero,
I think it's the first.
Fortuner,
They're all 5 and 4.
Everest,
Yeah.
they're all 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Altera, that's 4, I think.
4, yeah.
Um,
you're right.
Sorry. So we've got the best-in-class gearbox, best-in-class weighting.
Yes.
With power, this is going to be a stretch for me because it's about 180, right?
180 PS, yes,
180
and
PS,
470 Newton meters. So,
Okay.
yeah, I believe that's also best in class.
Yes, because I'm struggling now with the Montero because it's 3.2, but we'll verify that in just a little while. Also, so it's available throughout your 19 dealerships nationwide.
Yes.
What do you have any events coming up? You did have some test drives, public test drives, mall tours, etc.
Yes.
Is there anything else coming up like that they could see?
Well, a lot of the things that are happening are openings of dealerships. So you're going to be seeing a lot more Chevrolets all over the Philippines with service facilities because true to the JD Power Awards and how we'd like to service more Filipinos, we're opening up many more networks with service facilities. So wherever you are, the goal is to have a Chevrolet dealer nearby so that the ownership experience lives up to the brand. By the way, we also offer a 5-year warranty on all Chevrolet cars.
That's also
Yes.
that's also class leading, I believe. 5 years.
Yes. Well, there are other manufacturers that offer that.
You
But
should hire me. Huh?
I will. I'll give that some thought.
I'm just
serious
kidding, just
thought.
kidding. We're having way too much fun here, and it's so much fun that we actually forgot the time.
I know.
Patrick, do you have any famous last words? Anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
That's about it. We're looking forward for the next year season of F1.
Yep.
Let's see what's gonna happen. Let's see how it's gonna go.
Alan?
And don't forget, the Manila Auto Salon, there's going to be so many shows this weekend. We also have a B2B car show happening at MOA, and we also have Speedfest.
Any other races happening this weekend, Clark?
Yeah,
yes,
there's
there's,
an enduro
uh,
race this weekend also.
There's another race. Which one, Clark?
Enduro, Clark.
Clark.
Sorry, in BRC, in Clark's PTCC.
Absolutely.
So
All right.
pick your poison.
So there you go. There's so much happening this long weekend. We thank you very much for spending your time with us. A whole hour has been just flown by as fast as that 720 horsepower Mustang Shelby that.
You're going to see again next week because we have a new video, this time with a GoPro on.
Absolutely. So you look forward to that. Don't forget our Counterflow page. It's facebook.com/Mr.Counterflow. And that's the best way to get a hold of us. On behalf of our guest tonight, Lyn Buena from Chevrolet, thank you for joining us.
Thank you
I'm
so
James
much.
Deacon.
Pacho Blanco.
Alan, Sevilla.
Drive
Okay, God
carefully.
bless. Bye-bye.
Bye.